Right, let's set the scene. Imagine a factory, but not just any factory. This is a colossal cathedral of industry, a place so vast it probably has its own weather system. Outside, under a typically gray British sky, a rather sad-looking queue is forming. It's a procession of old Mercedes-Benz cars, arriving on the backs of low-loaders. They've come from all over the country, their once proud silver paint now dulled by years of motorway grime and relentless drizzle. These are cars that have lived full lives. They've done the school run, the business trip, the grand tour to the south of France. Now, they look a bit tired, a bit knackered. They're covered in a film of dirt, with the odd dent and scrape telling tales of tight parking spaces and forgotten bollards. This isn't a scrapyard though, not in the traditional sense. This is the starting point of a rather magnificent transformation. The air is thick with the hum of machinery and the distant clatter of metal, a symphony of industriousness. As each car is carefully unloaded, you can't help but feel a slight pang of nostalgia. You can almost hear the faint echoes of past journeys, of arguments over the radio station, of children in the back asking, "Are we there yet?" These aren't just lumps of metal, they are vessels of memories now waiting patiently for their next chapter. It's a bit like a retirement home for cars. Except, the residents are about to get a rather surprising new lease of life. The scale of the operation is frankly bewildering. The factory grounds stretch as far as the eye can see, a sprawling city dedicated to the art of the automobile. Giant cranes glide overhead, their magnetic claws ready to lift and move entire vehicles as if they were mere dinky toys. Forklift trucks, painted a cheerful yellow, buzz about like busy bees, orchestrating the constant flow of arrivals. There's a palpable sense of purpose here, a feeling that something truly extraordinary is about to happen. These old soldiers of the road haven't reached their final destination. They've simply arrived for a very important appointment with destiny. You might think it's all a bit clinical, but there's a strange sort of reverence in the way these cars are handled. The workers, clad in their smart overalls, guide each one into place with a practiced efficiency. They know that buried beneath the mud and wear is the very essence of a Mercedes-Benz brilliant engineering and a skeleton of high-strength steel. This isn't about destruction, it's about deconstruction. It's the beginning of a meticulous process, a journey from a dusty, forgotten relic to something altogether more spectacular. The grand arrival is over, and now, the real work, the interesting bit, is about to begin. It promises to be quite a show. Now for the disassembly, or as I like to call it, the great unbolting. The old Benz is wheeled into a cavernous hall, a place that looks like a surgeon's operating theater, if the surgeon was a giant robot with a penchant for power tools. This is where the car is systematically taken to pieces, but it's done with a surprising degree of finesse. It's a reverse assembly line, a mechanical autopsy performed with incredible speed and precision. First to go are the fluids. All the old oil, coolant, and washer fluid are drained away, collected in huge vats to be recycled separately. You wouldn't want any of that mucking up the next stage, would you? Once drained, the car moves along a conveyor to a team of specialists. These chaps are armed with an array of air-powered wrenches and specialized tools, and they descend upon the car with the coordinated chaos of a pit crew. Off come the wheels and tires, whisked away on another belt. Then, they move inside. The seats, worn smooth by years of use, are unbolted and lifted out. The dashboard, with its silent dark dials, is carefully disconnected and removed as a single unit. Every wire, every piece of plastic trim, every bit of carpet is stripped away, each component sorted into its own designated bin for recycling or repurposing. The next station is where the heavy machinery gets involved. A powerful robotic arm, with a grip like a giant lobster claw, plucks out the engine and gearbox in one smooth, powerful motion. The whole powertrain assembly is lifted high into the air and then lowered onto a separate trolley, destined for its own journey of inspection and reconditioning. It's a mesmerizing ballet of man and machine, each knowing their role perfectly. The car, which only minutes ago was a complete vehicle, now looks like a hollowed-out shell, a mere skeleton of its former self. It's a bit sad, really, seeing it so exposed and vulnerable. Finally, the doors, bonnet, and boot lid are removed. This is the last step in the strip-down. What remains is the bare metal body shell, known in the trade as the body in white. Although, at this point, it's more of a body in grime. It's an oddly beautiful thing, this naked frame. You can truly appreciate the engineering that went into it, the clever crumple zones and the rigid passenger safety cell. It's the core, the very soul of the car. And now, stripped of all its attachments and accessories, it is ready for the next, and arguably most satisfying stage of its transformation, a jolly good wash. With the body shell completely bare, it's time for a proper clean. And I don't mean a quick once-over with a bucket and sponge. Oh no, this is industrial-level cleaning, a process more akin to alchemy than car washing. The shell is picked up by an overhead crane, its hooks gripping it securely, and then it begins a journey through a series of enormous tanks. It's like a theme park water ride, but for car skeletons. The first plunge is into a chemical bath designed to strip away every last trace of old paint, underseal, and any stubborn bits of gunk that have accumulated over a decade on the M25. The shell is submerged completely, bubbles fizzing around it as the powerful solvents get to work. It stays in this bubbling cauldron for a precise amount of time before being hoisted out, dripping, and moved along to the next stage. This next tank is a high-pressure rinse, where hundreds of powerful water jets blast the shell from every conceivable angle. They get into every nook and cranny, every box section and internal cavity, washing away the loosened paint and dissolved chemicals. The noise is incredible, a deafening roar of water striking metal, ensuring that not a single speck of the old car remains. After the intense rinsing, the shell isn't just clean, it's chemically pure. But the process isn't over yet. It's then dipped into a succession of further tanks for pre-treatment. This is crucial. One bath gives it a phosphate coating which helps to prevent rust and provides a perfect surface for the new paint to adhere to. It's an invisible layer of protection that is fundamental to the longevity of the reborn car. It's a bit like putting on primer before you paint a wall at home, but on a much more scientific and impressive scale. Each dip is computer-controlled, ensuring the perfect immersion time and chemical concentration. Finally, the gleaming metal shell emerges from its last bath and is gently dried in a massive oven. As it rolls out into the light, it's a truly remarkable sight. Gone is the tired, dirty has-been. In its place is a pristine, silvery structure of raw steel and aluminium shining under the factory lights. It looks brand new, as if it was stamped from fresh metal only moments ago. The transformation is astonishing. This clean, naked frame holds all the strength and integrity of the original design, but it's now a blank canvas, a perfect foundation upon which a brand new, shiny red machine can be built. This is where the magic really happens. The gleaming naked body shell enters the paint shop, a clinically clean environment where even a single speck of dust is the enemy. It glides into a booth where robotic arms, moving with a fluid, almost balletic grace, begin to apply the first layers. First comes the E-coat, an electrostatically applied primer that covers every single square millimeter of the metal, inside and out, providing a robust foundation of corrosion resistance. Then come the layers of glorious, vibrant, red paint. The robots spray with inhuman precision, ensuring a flawless, even coat without a single drip or run. Once painted and baked to a hard, glossy finish, the body shell looks absolutely stunning. It's no longer a skeleton. It's the beginning of a new car, glowing in a shade of red so deep you feel you could dive right into it. It now moves onto the main assembly line, the very same line where brand new cars are built. This is the genius of the system. The recycled body is so perfectly prepared that it seamlessly integrates with the production of the latest models. It's a testament to the enduring quality of that original Mercedes-Benz engineering. The core structure is just that good. Now, the car is reborn. Modern components begin to be fitted. A new, highly efficient engine and hybrid system are installed. The latest dashboard, with its massive sweeping digital displays, is carefully maneuvered into place. The seats, upholstered in fine, sustainably sourced leather, are bolted down. The wiring loom, a complex nervous system containing kilometers of cables, is painstakingly connected. Piece by piece, the empty red shell is filled with the cutting-edge technology and luxurious appointments of a 2026 Mercedes-Benz. Workers and robots work side by side, adding everything from the panoramic sunroof to the intricate LED headlamps. Finally, at the end of this long, bustling production line, a magnificent machine rolls off under its own power. It's a brand new, gleaming red Mercedes-Benz, smelling of fresh leather and success. It's hard to believe that the very bones of this car once belonged to that tired, dirty vehicle that arrived at the factory gates. It has been on an incredible journey, from a forgotten workhorse to a desirable state-of-the-art automobile. The factory has acted as a fountain of youth, taking the best of the old and combining it with the brilliance of the new. It's not just recycling, it's a resurrection in red. Brilliant.